Alright guys, Shotty T here with another Alliance War video. So as you saw there, we started 0-3, so we did a few shuffling there, mostly just like mix matching, reassigning paths, put people in the best position to succeed. And also we actually had a couple people switch battle groups as well. So that way, overall, we can have better results because it can get kind of demoralizing when you have losses. Of course, it sometimes can bring hostility, anger. So you want to try to turn it around, and all it takes is one win to change things over. So, but once again, we're going against Protect. As you can see, I highlighted that MODOK and that Nick Fury because it looks like they're running suicides, because usually you do not see a 50k defender in tier 5. We're in tier 5, by the way, for the first time in a while. So it looks like that Nick Fury is going to have suicide. So that's going to make the degree of difficulty much easier for the team I plan on bringing. So, and we see we got one of the teammates already made it. So as you can see, we have like a plan that we do in our BG, kind of give you an insight there. So that way everybody knows what path what boss they're gonna take. I usually try to assign myself 2 to 3 bosses just to kind of spread out the forces. And so I'm pretty confident in my abilities for certain boss fights, but only end up taking one mini boss, but I will take on the main boss. So we're bringing She-Hulk, Claire, and White Magneto for the pre-fight. So first fight here, we got a Black Widow versus Black Widow. So the main thing we're gonna do here, we're gonna just make sure we take advantage of the node, ebb and flow knockdown. So we knock her down. And the SP2 is the special that you prefer to deal with, because the SP1, you have to deal with the evade after the effect. So I just rather keep it a little simple there. And I probably waited a little too late to try to punch at SP2, but luckily she didn't parry me or dex back counter me there. This fight's going pretty textbook. Keeping an eye on the protection when it restarts. So one more combo should do it. And she died before that SP1 actually hit her. So there we go. All right, so next fight we got Hit Monkey. Once again, we're gonna use Claire. Most of these fights are gonna be Claire, by the way. So we're gonna do just like we did that first fight. We're gonna keep it simple. We're gonna knock him down. Now, of course, with Hit Monkey, if you knock him down, he has that little purple meter, which means he's subject to evade. So you just gotta make sure you keep your combos short. Don't overcommit yourself in a combo, otherwise you get punished. And he hits pretty hard. Luckily, she is bleed immune in this phase, so I don't have to worry about that critical bleed. But he still hits hard. So just want to avoid getting hit altogether. Rule number 1, don't get hit, right? So haven't figured out what I'm gonna title this video. I want to try to keep a theme going, so there will be a rule number 4, just haven't decided yet. After this recording is over, this live recording that I'm doing right now, you guys already know what the rule is when this video posts. So, but as I'm recording it right now, haven't decided yet. But I may come up with that idea the later this live video goes. So we knock him down once again. Again, we're just keeping it simple, short combos. And he's down. So this next fight is going to be a little tricky. We got a Nick Fury on the unstoppable heavy. You can't interrupt this heavy attack. But I got a plan for Nick Fury, and I'm used to fighting him in Alliance Quest. when Invisible Woman is the mini boss, like on that stun immune path. So, and it looks like they've tweaked Alliance Quest, so they're no longer going to have him there. They're going to have a much easier skill champ, which is fine by me. I think it's Falcon, I think they're putting there. So, it's going to make that path very easy. I never had any problem with Nick Fury there, but I can see how it can be a struggle. Plus, you have a stun immune void, a debuff immune void on that same week. So I guess it can be kind of hectic facing a void and a Nick Fury that's stun immune. But as you can see there, I can't interrupt this heavy, but all I'm doing, I'm just working around his SP2, his tactical charges. Because once he gets to 15 tactical charges, he becomes unblockable. So I try to have it to where my combos don't end with him being unblockable. And there's a way to prevent Nick Fury from throwing this SP1 if you don't want him to throw it. The easy way to do it is just to hold block the whole time and just bait a heavy or a combo ender, and then you just punish him. Now, of course, in this case, you can't bait the heavy and punish because he has unstoppable heavy. So the key is to try to build him to SP2, and luckily he has recoil, so it's kind of helping out there. And that was pretty quick. So next fight, we got a Korg. And I'm gonna have to go back and look at that replay real quick. I'm gonna pause it. Okay. Yeah, I got through that Nick Fury fight so quickly, I wasn't sure if he ever got to his second life, but apparently he did when I look back at it. But anyway, we got the White Magneto pre-fight here, so this will allow us to safely parry him without worrying about him shrugging it off. And I'm just gonna keep this fight pretty simple. So the fact that I was able to solo that Apocalypse boss with Magic Last War, and have it to where I can be less liberal when it comes to the boost. So I'll still use the 10% ones, like the small ones, because like I said, they come like candy. So it's no big deal there. But here, just parry medium like medium, bait SP1, SP2 if you can, and just throw the SP2. But you can pretty much use this with anybody that can deal with Korg's thorn damage. Like basically energy-based attack or non-contact attacks. You can pretty much use that White Magneto pre-fight with anyone. The only person that doesn't require it at all is Storm Pyramid X. But next fight, I started to bring Falcon, but I realized that this is brute force of will, so his lock on wouldn't really do anything here. He would still get his rock stacks. So I decided to bring She-Hulk, and I've taken thing with She-Hulk on this node before. Plus, this guy also has suicides. So she applies that slow debuff, and we're gonna space that. So that's something I mean, when I got the time, I'm gonna see if I can solo that Luke Cage with She-Hulk, because really the way to solo that fight, it's all about the spacing. If you can space your heavy attack when the opponent is done with their special, you can reapply that slow, because as you know, in the Abyss, when the opponent runs out of abyssal charges, they basically have a passive, unblockable, and unstoppable for the remainder of the fight. So obviously you can't get hit, but the unstoppable, you can prohibit the effects of those with a slow debuff. So the only way you can apply slow with her is by charging her heavy. So you can basically either heavy counter or counter their specials with your heavy to apply the slow. So I did that with his SP1 and the SP2 for that fight, so that went pretty smooth. So next fight we got a Omega Red. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go straight into our poison phase because he is immune to poison, so that way I can gain my power a little bit quicker, and plus I don't have to worry about his death field if I were to bleed him, and plus he would have healed off of that with willpower anyway because their bleeds are not strong. They're just, I mean, it's a lot of buffs that can help towards the spare mastery, but like the potency of those bleeds are not strong at all. So we got a nice little intercept there. Just nailing them right now. All right, see if we can get another intercept. There we go. Yeah, this one's gonna be in the bag. SP3 should kill him with the passive fury. All right, and he's down. All right, next we have a Red Hulk. I'm gonna use She-Hulk here. If I would have brought Quake for this fight, it would have been a close timeout, as you guys saw a couple of wars ago. But this one, She-Hulk, not gonna be any issue. The main thing I was really worried about, other than of course his heat charges hitting you and one combo almost killing you, the only thing I was really worried about is her triggering protect, because obviously I'm gonna be intercepting, and her passive fury from her natural ability is gonna start stacking up. So I was on the back of my head, I was worried about protect, but at the same time, you can get rid of it with a large or extra large chump, either by knocking the opponent down or by the way the small folks do it, through intercepting. So I got multiple ways to get rid of protect if it were to trigger. So I'm just gonna, I'm so used to fighting against Red Hulk without parrying him to deal with that damage anyway, because he's like the very first opponent in Labyrinth of Legends. So I got more than enough practice fighting against Red Hulk, because in Labyrinth of Legends you got a limited amount of parries you can do because of that limber. Actually, this reminded me of a Labyrinth of Legends fight I want to try out. Now I got pretty lucky right there. I had my stand your ground mastery, and luckily I was perfect blocking. So I basically parried his heavy attack. So that's a rarity. Now I've had that happen on the other side of the equation, facing an opponent that has resist, and you try to spam heavy in the corner, and I actually got auto blocked. There was a war probably a couple of seasons back where I had like a bunch of animations. There was a lot of animations, like little small clippets in that video where you saw I had got parried trying to do a heavy attack while the person was in the corner. So, but that fight's down. So once again, we got another Nick Fury. And by the way, their diversity was terrible this war. So they love putting Nick Fury on defense, but Black Widow, she's up to the task. Like I said, normally use a mutant against Nick Fury, but I like the fact that a non-mutant, because a mutant, you never know what hit is going to, because a 25% chance that you're going to trigger a tactical charge when you're striking with a mutant. And obviously that's good in some scenarios on certain fights, but a lot of times I prefer where I know every single hit is going to add a tactical charge, so that way I can like time my combos where my combos are a certain length. So now he's unblockable, so I'm making sure that I finish a combo where it not only puts him over 2 bars of power, but also resets his tactical charge. So it's almost like facing Thing with the rock stacks. So as you can see, I'm kind of being more careful now that he's near 1 bar of power, because I don't want him to throw at his SP1 when he's unblockable. So again, I'm holding block on purpose, so that way he doesn't throw his SP1. Because if he would have thrown it there, he would have became unblockable for that special. Alright. So unfortunately, I think on this one, I think he ends up throwing his SP1 unblockable, or no, he doesn't. It might have been another. It might have been a dual fight. It might have been this fight though. It might have been this fight, because right now we're near flawless so far, and we got this little crumbling armor to heal ourselves. All right. Yeah, so we stopped the combo 4-hit that way. If I would have finished that combo with a 5-hit, probably would have thrown this SP1. So I cut it short. So once again, we got the tactical charges. We're playing around that. And another thing about Claire against Nick Fury, that when he goes to his second life, you can nullify that Big Fury. Because when he has that Big Fury active, his tactical charges are doubled when you hit him. But once you get rid of that Fury, it's just like the first life. The only difference, you just can't stun him. So again, we're just making sure that we are just continue to cut our combo short, and you see that causing the Beta's heavy attack. So if you want to know how to fight Nick Fury with a non-mutant, this is definitely the video to watch. Now, do get a little cocky on the boss fight, but you'll see there. All right, so there we go. He's dead. So it's 2 Nick Furies down the drain with Claire. All right, so we got mini boss island. I said we're only gonna end up taking 1 mini boss. So we wake up the next morning. Just want to see where we are, because the last 2 days we wake up and it's already over. But in this case, we got a pretty big lead in BG2, and as an alliance, we only got 16 deaths. That's a big difference. Big difference. All right, so because the opponent actually placed well, so it's not like we just had easier placement for the opponent, because they lacked diversity. They wanted to place a lot of annoying defenders. But of course they're tier 5 as well, so attack wise they wasn't as strong, so that's why they died quite a bit, and they actually ended up not finishing one of our BGs. So yeah, spoiler alert, we do win this war. But yeah, but we're better than the tier 5 alliance, and currently we're gold 1, so we're definitely better than the gold 1 alliance. So this is just to get us out of gold 1, get back to tier 4, have that bigger multiplier, get back into platinum 4, and then see if it's still possible to get the platinum 3. But we have to pretty much go on a long streak for that to be a remote possibility. But anyway, we're back to this Thing fight. You guys see me fight against him with Claire. I know it just seems unorthodox to fight Thing with a person with class disadvantage, but that's how good Claire is, man. I mean, especially when you're limited on your attack options, when you want to have a certain team, sometimes you just gotta have that one champ that may not be the best for a particular matchup, but it's very versatile Swiss Army knife that can still get the job done. And Claire is definitely one of them. Quake is another. Warlock, like, you got quite a few of those Swiss Army knife. Of course, Falcon is one. Magneto is one. So just really just depends on who's in your path. That just determine the right scenario of what champs you'll bring. In the off season, I tried to bring Angela to war, but in Protect, she just hits too hard. I like the fact that you can shorten debuffs or eliminate them when she has 4 or more buffs on her, but she hits so hard. I mean, she triggers Protect so easy. So it's, I mean, again, so I mean, obviously, if it's an opponent that's not a large or extra large champ, then you'll get the full benefit of her hitting hard. But if it's against an opponent like Thing, then yeah, you kind of trigger protect a lot. But yeah, so we're doing the same thing here. Get the 19, get the 20. Mystic charges, put it exactly at 2 bars of power. So, and baited that heavy and was able to heavy counter that with my special, put them exactly at 15 rock stacks. And now we're gonna change stances. Gonna go to the poison stance. Gonna apply some debuffs to him so I can build that polka dot power. We're gonna hit into his block, get to 15. And again, we're holding back. We're not parrying him. Obviously, I want to hit him now. I want him to throw his special instead of. There we go. All right. Now we're switching to the incinerate phase. And we're able to stun him now. And I did take off the pacify mastery because I don't like the opponent to not, like in this case, don't want him to not gain the rock stats. I understand some people do it to try to parry against magic. So that way when she goes over that bar of power, there's a bigger chance that she doesn't trigger limbo. But yeah. Anyway, we're pretty much done with this fight. Just gonna throw the SP3. And there we go. All right, so I started to take on this MODOK. Actually, I originally said I was gonna take him, but I would felt more strongly about it if I was bringing Falcon. But I'm gonna go ahead and apply the pre-fight. I just wanted to see what the health was for the other people in our BG. Like I really started to take him with her because I was just gonna parry heavy the whole fight. But I don't know. I don't know why I didn't take the fight. I guess I was thinking I would take too much block damage because he is a rank 3. So I guess that was what's going in the back of my head. But he does have suicide, so he may kill himself more than anything. But I saw we had an alliance member that had a Falcon and a Magneto. And the Magneto was rank 3, by the way. So both of them are great options against him on this node. One little nugget about Falcon. I did a Falcon video about a week or so back. Check that video out if you haven't. Falcon, what he cannot counter, like on that particular node, that node has 40% increased ability accuracy for evade and auto block. So if you put that lock on, it only does 100% ability accuracy defensively. So that 40% added ability accuracy, the opponent effectively is at 140%. So you take away that 100%, that means they still have a 40% chance to trigger. So just a little nugget for those that want to try to take Falcon on that node. The lock on does not 100% prevent those abilities. But anyway, I digress. So we got a Nick Fury boss, and he has suicide. So this suicide is pretty much gonna take the majority of his first life. We're just gonna dance around a little bit. And the thing about Claire is that obviously with this boss being stun immune, if I try to parry with her, that'll actually build my tactical charges. So you're gonna see me do a lot of parrying and a lot of reparrying just to purposely build up my mystic charges. So that way when I throw my SP3 or SP2 or whatever, when I throw, I can throw them a little bit more frequently. But as you can see there, again, we're holding a block on purpose when he's at a bar of power. So that way he doesn't throw the SP1. Now he's unblockable, but again, I did my combo to where the unblockable was going to be before the first bar of power. So that way when I do a combo that happens to put him over bar of power, it's going to reset his tactical charges. So what you're going to see is that on all of these Nick Fury fights, I believe none of these Nick Furies ever threw her SP1. So we got a reparry there. So now we're up to 3 charges. Got another reparry. Got the 5 now. All right. You got another reparry there. Just want to see how hard his SP3 hits with more Mystic charges. But he is a rank 3 defender, so I kind of underestimate how hard or how much damage this would have been. But because I was gonna try to build my Mystic charges up, get him down to his first life without me throwing the SP3. First, I'm gonna nullify that buff he has. So obviously, let him kill himself at this point with his second life. So I should have nullified that Fury right there. I'm not sure why I didn't do that. Had the opening to do so, but now his life is gone. So for some reason, I thought the 13 Mystic Charge was enough to kill him at this point. So I got a little cocky. I said, okay, yeah, we got him. But only took him to 21. So we still got some work to do. So this actually throws him to a bar of power. So now I got to be careful not to have him throw SP1. And then I held block for too long and got hit by the heavy, which nearly killed me there. So now we're a little nervous. It'll make this fight a little bit more difficult than what it should have been. So we're gonna throw another SP3. I'm thinking, okay, this should kill him. At the very least, I'll get my adrenaline health back. But it did not kill him. So still got work to do. And now he's unblockable, and he can throw an SP1 now. But luckily, I mean, if he would have thrown the SP1, it actually would have put him over that. It would have reset his tactical charges. But anyway, there you go, guys. This is perfect textbook Nick Fury fighting. Like I said, we won the war. So we're on the scoreboard. But please like, share, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed that. And take care.